When you are an expert, there's a tendency to think that everyone knows what you know, although they most likely don't. Most people outside of your field of expertise probably don't think about the concepts you do or consider the various perspectives that you consider. They probably don't get the ideas that you get or get influenced as you do by the world around you. But I've noticed that many experts have trouble creating content because they sometimes don't see how what they have to say is valuable. Unless they develop some cutting-edge revelation, some experts fear that what they are presenting is just too basic or too ordinary. And I talk to clients and colleagues about this a lot, actually more than you'd expect. So why do some experts have this perception of themselves? And one reason is because it comes with being an expert. Experts usually have the opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is imposter syndrome. The Dunning-Kruger effect, according to a definition found in Psychology Today, is a cognitive bias in which people wrongly overestimate their knowledge or ability in a specific area. And imposter syndrome, on the other hand, is defined in Time magazine as the idea that you've only succeeded due to luck and not because of your talent or your qualifications. Now here's an excerpt about imposter syndrome from that Time magazine article. Have you ever felt like you don't belong? Like your friends or colleagues are going to discover that you're a fraud and you don't actually deserve your job and your accomplishments? Well, if so, you're in good company. These feelings are known as imposter syndrome, or what psychologists will call imposter phenomenon. An estimated 70% of people experience these imposter feelings at some point in their lives, according to a review article published in the International Journal of Behavioral Science. Imposter syndrome, or the idea that you've only succeeded due to luck, and not because of your talent or your qualifications, was first identified in 1978 by psychologists Pauline Rose Clance and Suzanne Imes. In their paper, they theorized that women were uniquely affected by imposter syndrome. Now, since then, research has shown that both men and women experience imposter feelings, and Clance published a later paper acknowledging that imposter syndrome is not limited to women. For the record, she also created an imposter syndrome test. So today, imposter syndrome can apply to anyone who isn't able to internalize and own their successes, says psychologist Audrey Irvin. Now, another reason experts may be challenged to internalize their success could be because of the competition in their areas, which ironically fuels their drive to constantly be discovering something new and cutting edge. Every day, they're talking to colleagues who have equivalent or greater knowledge, so it's hard for these experts to see how much they actually contribute to their field every single day. Now, the definition of imposter syndrome implies that people who are successful and experts are aware of their weaknesses, so they have insights into what they don't know and see gaps in their own knowledge. And this is why they're experts. They can discern what's cutting edge versus old news, what is fact, fiction, or unknown. They know the areas where they only have general knowledge and where they need to explore further to get the details required to be the expert they are. But some still carry this false assumption that the average person knows not just what's cutting edge, but the old news that's been displaced. Somehow, this average person with different interests is keeping current in a field that isn't their own. That sounds strange, right? In reality, the average person doesn't know a bunch about an expert's field, what's cutting edge or what's old news. And this leads to talented experts often falsely believing that they have no value to offer because they're around other experts just like them every day. So to them, they believe that their knowledge is common knowledge. Now, most days, I'm in the camp where I assume that everyone knows what I know. I believe that they've had similar experiences as I've had, and they see the world in the same way that I do. There are many days when I think that what I know is general knowledge, and at times I believe that I have absolutely no value to offer. So I'll refrain from creating content or contributing to conversations because I wonder who wants to hear what I already know and tell myself so many times each day. It's the same with projects. I wonder what value could I possibly offer? Sounds crazy, right? But there's a way for someone to work around this, and it's what I use. There's a message that many coaches are using today. You are unique. And you have something unique to offer just by being you. So although the message coming from you may have been shared by dozens of others before, there's still room for you in your field because no one is presenting this same information in the way you're presenting it. Now, isn't this freeing to hear? And for some, the way you present your message alone could be revolutionary. The perspective that comes from your approach to the problem, your word choice, your choice of metaphors, even the medium you choose to present your message. In the end, it's you being you that's the offering. And this is true for companies as well as individuals. What you say is going to be unique to your audience as long as you are authentic as an individual or as a company. Now, the next point to be made. When you're creating a content library, you need some basic introductory 101 type of content there. And there is value in basic content. Now imagine if you went to Deepak Chopra's site and you saw no basic content about chakras or meditation or self-awareness. Or let's say you went to HubSpot's site and there was nothing there about what makes a good email or a good landing page. Or you went to a makeup site and you didn't see some basic application technique videos. Yes, those examples all contain basic explainer content, but you need that to help build trust and credibility with your audience. If you only talk about slick, trendy topics, well, you're a slick, trendy snake oil salesman, and who needs that? Right? Trends are always built on the basics. It's why white t-shirts and jeans sell all year round. People always want the basics. I built and am building a basics library through my courses that complement my book. Why? Because if I don't have that, then you may wonder, where the heck did this lady come from and what the heck does she know? Every content creator needs to prove to their audience that they know the basics to build trust with them. That's how you judge a quack from a leader. If I went to HubSpot and saw faulty info about the basics, I'd question their credibility. Same with Deepak Chopra. If the information he had about chakras was bunky based on the limited knowledge of them that I had, I'd walk away and wonder if he's the real deal. Content about the basics validates your credibility, which builds trust and later supports your authenticity. So some quick tips. If you're looking for ideas about what to talk to your audience about, listen to the conversations that you have with your customers. Notice what they're asking. Those answers contain great content to share. Most people aren't alone in their questions. Other people often have the same questions about a topic. So share the answers. Then ask yourself, which topics in your field do you take for granted that people know about? The answer to this question also contains great ideas to share too. Consider how you present this content. Maybe do something creative, like hosting a panel discussion. I saw someone recently present a complex idea to children. Either way, find a way to present such ideas to build that basics library. Being an expert in an area is tough because you're already tough on yourself. Yes, continue working on being that cutting-edge expert, but remember, you have value in what you bring to the table being yourself, being authentic. So bring it on. We all want to hear what you have to say, even if it's something from a 101 course in your area of expertise. Always remember, to someone else, your expertise is not basic information. It's a revelation. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.